Alright, boom. So we can really just like start whenever, whatever. So blah blah blah, we're here, episode 2 of the Open Micers. We got JD here. Now we got our friend Dusty with us.
Hey.
Local comedian, good guy. I guess just talk about stuff about you, what you do that's not comedy related, because we're going to talk mainly about comedy.
All right. On average, for a job, I farm for a living, which is to say one of the most embarrassing things ever to admit to another person.
Why do you think that?
Well, especially in the city, because people are like, oh, okay, you didn't graduate or anything.
See, that's dope, though. I think that's dope to say you farm, because, like, if shit happened, you'd be alright. You'd be like, I know how to grow shit.
That's the thing.
Is it like a farm with lots of stuff, or is it like you'd farm one thing?
Oh, soybeans, wheat, corn, and everybody has gardens and everything like that, except for me, because I'm not really good at it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So
I literally, like everybody else, you talk to the other people, everybody does the same thing in this small community, and they'll ask you the same questions that you ask them, like, what you doing today? It's like planting. What about you? Planting.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
You're never reaping. You're just always planting.
Everybody watches Andy Griffin. It's just not a lot of...
Hey, that show is based off Mount Airy here in North Carolina.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Really, the best part of that town, though, honestly, is the Andy Griffith memorial. Like, just the fact that show was based around there. But yeah, what do you mean community people? So yeah, I actually don't even know exactly where you're from.
I'm from a little place called New Hope. It's near Denton, which is out of Lexington or Thomasville. I'm not sure which one.
What was I gonna say? So, and I think I remember you talking about how you work there with your family.
Yeah, it's just me and my dad right now, and it's just us doing everything pretty much. And it's been in the family since my grandpa, and it's just, I don't know, it's like one of those things, like I could have it if I wanted it, but I don't want it at all.
Yeah.
Like you could give it to me with money, and I'd be like, oh no,
Yeah.
I would rather make no money doing comedy than I would be making some money doing that.
Yeah, I feel that.
I just out of my element. I mean, I like being outside. I like birds and shit, but I don't like that hard work. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just a hard manual labor, man.
Yes.
I was about to say, like
older people are used to it. That's what they had to do.
yeah,
They had to
way of
work
life.
hard to get there. I mean, now you can make $1 million on a computer.
yeah.
Without leaving your fucking house.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you're like, why wouldn't I do that?
Dude, I was thinking about the other day. You know those cam girls or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just thinking, man, like we're jerking off already, right?
Yeah.
For free because we enjoy it, we love it.
Precisely.
Why are we trying to make a little bit of money? Is it gay? You know what I mean? Like, why? Because we're definitely doing it. I'm just saying. I don't know who to talk to or how to get into it, but I can't say I'm not curious to find out.
Getting into it, all webcamming requires is a webcam.
Yeah, and I got a webcam.
That's it. You could type in, you could Google,
Is
how
it
do
weird?
I
Okay.
make money jacking off
All right, yeah. So it's like
on a
immediate
webcam?
So immediately I'm like, of course I can make money jacking off. But then a little bit of insecurity set in because I was like, is anyone really gonna want to watch me jerk off? I'm not gonna want to watch it.
Oh.
The thing is, there's a niche for there's a niche for things that are strange,
Yeah.
and like big black dudes is definitely
Yeah.
a
Okay,
niche.
fair.
You know what I'm
makes
saying?
sense.
People want, it's a small market for it, so when people find somebody supplying what they want, they pay extra.
And it's not like porn. You know what I mean? Where it's like my whole family can find out that I do this because I'm in a movie and I have a fake name and like there's a big production. It's just like if someone in my family was like, "Hey, I saw you on this porn website," I'd be like, "How did you find me on that website?"
Yeah.
That was real specific. It's not like
Well, at the same time, I've noticed that a lot of those shows can show up on a regular porn site. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
because you just type in web girls. You know,
Yeah.
because I don't want to have to pay to watch them.
yeah, true.
And a lot of women are like that too, I would think. But the thing is about doing that, I don't think they'll just pay to watch you jack. I think you're going to have to do some nasty shit to yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, now I understand some toys and whatnot, like maybe like a pocket pussy, but fucking like putting things inside of myself, like I'm not too.
Yeah,
porn stuff
I'm
on
not that.
myself.
I'm not that strapped.
There you go. I'll pour something on.
No, because
Chocolate.
once you
Yeah,
pour,
but-
once you pour one thing on yourself, it's gonna escalate. If you pour chocolate milk on yourself, next week somebody's like, I'm seeing some pig's blood. Just keep pouring pig's blood.
Yeah.
Keep pouring
Straight
pig's
up.
blood on yourself.
If I had like enough like big sheets of plastic and could cover my living space, whatever. porn
you-
stuff.
you gotta
I'm
move
not putting.
along.
I'm not putting something in because I'm not that strapped for cash yet, or I'm also. I don't know. I've never tried. I need to be doing that. I'm doing lots of jerking off on my own, and I'm really good. I'm very good at it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not that good at.
But you got a girlfriend. Why you jerking off?
I mean, it's like, Michael Jordan can still dunk. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't do it as much or as often, but man, I still do it. I'm not gonna pretend. Yeah, sex is cool, but it's like, I don't know.
She's not there all the time.
Well, it's not even if she was. It's just like, it makes me feel like it's weird. It makes me feel like everything's gonna be all right. Kind of how I said with the farming thing. Like, if shit popped off, you could farm, and I feel like you'd be all right.
Yeah.
If shit popped off, I feel like, well, at least I can still jerk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
It'd be
look-
like,
yeah.
it's like my saving
Well, that's
grace.
kind of how it is with comedy, though. Well, that's the way I see it. I'm like, if shit, all else fails, I can still talk to motherfuckers in a funny way.
Yeah, true.
Like, that's something inside of you that you always have.
I've been thinking about that
You
too.
always
'cause
will have.
You ever have that thing where it's like, sometimes it's after you have a bad set, but you kind of have this want to get back on stage, even if it's like right after your set. You're like,
Instant.
man, I gotta wait till next week to get up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I start feeling that like sometimes when I'm at work and whenever I meet new people and they don't know what type of person I am, and I'm making them laugh because it's easy because they're not you. Because I'll try to bring the funny to someone as soon as I meet them. Any type of interaction. Ever since I've been doing comedy, it's like anytime I have an interaction with anybody, I'm trying to look for the funny. It's like it's kind of like a comedic eye or something. I don't know. But it's like I don't know. I just try to. Whatever I'm like, I want to get back on stage. I look forward to meeting new people too because I'm like, here's an opportunity to make them laugh in any way that I can. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't try to push it, but it's just like, you just say something you don't think they're gonna say or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I've been, I work at. Do you know I work at Celebration Station?
Yes.
Yeah. So I run the boats or whatever, and they're old and all fucking broken. So I'll do this thing with the employees whenever someone complains. I'll be like, yeah, these boats were made in like 1988, and it's like, yeah, it's funny because obviously they weren't. But then I've been like, keep going back in time, and at first it was like at like 2-year increments, but now today I said like 1476, and then I start making up facts to the people about other stuff that was going on, and it's just like this dumb thing that I started doing just because I'm bored at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I agree. Well, I think for people that are into comedy or like comedy in any way, when we talk to people like that, new people, it's just a way. It's how we communicate.
Yeah.
It's how we've found ways to break the ice of. Because the world we live in today, we're so connected, but we're not in person.
Yeah.
So when you meet somebody,
Right,
everybody's
that's
really
huge.
timid, like
Awkward.
a deer, and you're like the hunter, but you don't know who's who because you're doing the same thing for them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when you
yeah,
do
yeah.
that
yeah.
and you see how they react, you know at least 50% how that person's going to be for the rest of your interaction.
Yeah.
I think. If they can take a joke, they're all right.
Yeah.
If they can't, maybe they had a bad day.
Yeah. Or maybe
they're
just.
a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It just narrows it down a little
Yeah.
bit. You kind of get a gist of who this
Yeah,
person
I
is.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
'Cause the joke you make is your sense of humor. If they
Yeah.
laugh at it, that's your sense of humor also.
Yeah, true.
So you bond on that plane.
Yeah.
Or something as simple as saying something about somebody's shirt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I think that's one of the easiest ways to let somebody know that you're okay.
Yeah.
Is let them, like, even if you like their shirt or not, be like, I like your shirt. I like that
Yeah.
symbol or something. And
It's
they-
cool, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
Something
thank
relate,
you.
something make them feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of things I've been thinking about too. Like with comedy, it's like, because, all right, my round or whatever. Whenever I did the thing, the Good Nights competition, the biggest lesson I learned is I need to play towards the crowd a little bit more if I'm ever in a competition setting or if I'm in a setting where I need to impress a group of people or one person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like as I got on stage, I mean I'm doing jokes that are like hard hitting in the sense that like I did the joke about the high schooler dying and the rape. It's a gun joke, but it's kind of really a rape joke in the middle, most of it towards the end. And I got them to laugh, but I know they didn't want to laugh. They didn't. Like, I could see them being like, oh, man, don't make me feel like this. They don't feel comfortable, but it's not that it's not funny, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then there's, like, that laughter where it's just, like, I'm trying to think. Like, Mellow Mike. Have you ever seen Mellow Mike? He's a dude
I
out
know
of
what you're
Raleigh.
talking about.
Really fucking funny. He's the truth. I was watching his set your night at the competition when he was hosting. He did a set, and just everyone felt so good about laughing at his jokes. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, it just made it seem like he's laughing, we're all having a good time. It's inclusive, you know what I mean? And I just feel like sometimes the jokes that I've been thinking of, at least most recently, just kind of make people laugh because they're like, whoa, I can't believe I haven't thought of this before, which is more of like a, putting them out of their comfort zone, which isn't necessarily bad in anything, but if I had done something to make the people there feel more comfortable, jokes that they could resonate with a little bit more, I think I could have potentially done better. You know what I mean?
And that's also comes with a price too. Like comics that, like you can try to play to the crowd. I know what you mean. Like topical sometimes in a way, but also try to throw in yourself at the same time, or which you know what I mean. Which does better?
Yeah.
Obviously, something that everybody can know something about.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like a Taylor Swift joke or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be that a lot of people would get that, but at the same time, it's like, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, exactly.
You want that to be part of your set because your set is what they know you.
And sometimes I'll be thinking about. I had a friend of mine tell me they didn't like topical comedy. They don't think it's as funny. And I think, if anything, I think the reason people do such topical comedy, or at least the reason I don't necessarily enjoy doing it, because it doesn't always come to me. I don't ever like think of something very funny because it seems a little unoriginal. But I think it's like a challenge. It's like, okay, we all have the same experience, like us and the other comics. Now, who's going to tell the funniest joke about it? You know what I mean? Who's going to think of it in the coolest way? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, topical stuff can be very fucking funny.
Oh, hell yeah. I got some topical jokes, but I just make mine generic enough that I can keep using it.
Yeah.
Not make it to one specific.
Yeah, I don't want to make like, so let's talk about Caitlyn Jenner, 'cause that's just gonna get old in like 4 or 5 months tops.
Yeah.
You know,
but if you have a joke in general about transgenderism or sexuality or just gender identity
flags,
and all,
everything. Holidays are like a week,
2
weeks, including the week of, maybe after.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could do one
like,
even after.
Whenever Father's Day came around, pull out the dad jokes. You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, didn't grow up with one. That's already a situation where it makes people interested. You know what I mean? They want to hear maybe more about it.
Yes, of
makes
course.
them think about their father and son or daughter interaction. You know what I mean? Something they can relate to at least. All right. We can go in and out, kind of like we just did.
Yeah.
But as far as what the template says, Dusty, what was your first experience in seeing stand-up?
First thing I remember is stand-up.
Yeah, first thing you ever experienced, like you're going along, normal person, and you're like, someone's like, hey, you want to watch some stand-up? And you're like, what's that?
Oh, okay.
Like going way back. Or just maybe not the very first time, but the first like influential time where you're like, I remember laughing a lot, seeing someone specific, was on TV, was alive.
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Comedy itself, a lot was from movies for me and cartoons.
Okay, yeah.
And I would always try
Never
to
thought about that.
act out as them, like mimic my characters, or Steve Urkel, the people I thought were the funniest people in the world.
Yeah.
As a youngin'. And then, like, stand-up itself, I saw that, I guess would be maybe Eddie Murphy, or somebody, like, I don't know. It's hard to remember. Like, stand-up itself, didn't really watch stand-up, because whatever my dad wanted to watch, I watched.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess, Richard Pryor, I remember Dad watching that and turning it off really quickly, because, and I was like, no, like, don't do it. I love this. I think I like this.
Yeah. I think I'm catching on something. I remember that too. I used to watch all the Comedy Central Presents, those little half-hour specials that comedians we get. I swear I might have really seen all of them, especially, I don't know, whenever I was growing up, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. But I remember one time I was always chilling at my grandparents' house, so I'd go to the school that I wanted to that was like down the street or whatever. But they were really skeptical of me watching it. And because they'll walk by the room and they'll hear like maybe a cuss word or like a weird topic they don't think I should be listening to. And then one day my grandma was like, you need to turn that stuff. They're always talking about inappropriate stuff. I was like, no, they're not. But knowing that they could be. And I was like, what? Look, just watch until the next commercial of this next dude, or the first commercial, and then we'll just see how you feel. If it's really that inappropriate, whatever. And luckily enough, it was Jim Gaffigan, and he's totally clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He did like, it was the one, I think it's like, I don't know if you ever saw it, it's like the one he has like corn in the background or whatever. Yeah, it's like that one. He did one of his like funny ass hilarious jokes, and she ended up laughing. She was like, oh, okay, I thought it would be like them cussing the whole time, which like the next dude was like Louis Black or something, like someone that was being way more like offensive or something like that. You know what I mean? Or just in general. So there was definitely way dirtier people on there, but I just lucked out that she was there whenever I saw when Jim Gaffigan came on. So thank you, Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, my dad was really strict when I was a kid, so it was hard for me to watch some things at sometimes.
Yeah.
like Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons for a while.
Yeah.
And until it got to like, South Park came out and it made The Simpsons look like a kid show.
Yeah, seriously.
It technically is. I mean, it's not a kid show, but it's not on the Richter scale of what's bad.
Yeah, true.
Sneaking, watching South Park. Just, I did all that shit.
Man, South Park used to be the jam growing up.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Watching South Park, I thought I was like working against the government when I was watching. I was like, man, they're letting me watch this on TV. These little kids are crazy. Like, they're cussing, they're doing. Oh man, I thought it was the illest shit.
Oh, it was a great time to be that age because we're like at that age where it's like, I could have been an older teenager who's like gets it, whatever, but I was at that age where it's like this is forbidden, but I want it so bad because it's so funny.
Yeah.
So you're touching forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
So that I don't know. I think that's a releasing
My mom
factor.
thought damn, Family Guy was worse than South Park. I could watch South Park easy.
Really?
Because she was like, because she would just see the little kids just waddling, and she wouldn't even think about it being a real show like that. She thought, he's watching a little cartoon because the animation was just so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
true.
like,
That's almost like the charm of it too.
On Family Guy, I was watching it with her in this episode where like this guy's face got ripped off, and my mom freaked out. Like she was like, you can't watch this anymore. It's too offensive, too disturbing.
Fair. I remember as a
I think
kid.
it's tamer than South Park.
Yeah, no,
South Park
definitely.
just does racist shit.
Dude, there's that one episode when they have Britney Spears like completely swallow someone with her vagina.
Yep.
And she does that. She
That's,
totally does that.
That's was it her or was it Paris Hilton?
Man, I think it was Paris Hilton. Man,
And then she had to go
classic.
up against Sex Slave.
Yeah, exactly.
And he
beat her. Yeah.
I mean the show I still like it, but I don't like it the way I did when I was a kid.
Yeah, it had like that extra flair as a kid. But I mean, it's still very well written.
Even the
and
movie,
funny as shit.
man,
The movie's funny as fuck.
Stepped it up, musical numbers, everything. I bet I've seen that movie almost more than I've ever seen any other movie.
Really?
Just because I would have it in my CD, whatever you call it, DVD player, and I would just go to sleep watching it. Or if I ever brought a girl over, I'd be like, let's watch a movie. So we even watch South Park, the movie. You don't get past like 10 minutes. And it's like, man,
It's just this. It's like gay Satan and like.
Yeah, dude, it's so awful. Dude, he's dating like a Saddam Hussein like the entire time. Man.
And then like
That's
but like one part of the movie just straight up racist. Like they put all the black people in the front of the army to soak up all the bullets so the white guys can shoot them. And like nobody addresses that part at all. Operation Hide Behind the Darkies.
That's it. And they're all on the things. They're on the tanks and everything like that posted on there. And Chef's like, the hell, you know what I mean? Like he's the only one. And then there's
just like, nah, this ain't gonna happen.
But then they did like a trick and then they got down and everybody got shot but them because
Dude, that whole show gets so weird sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They kill Kenny.
Every episode.
Every dumb shit like that, you know?
It's just awesome though. I've always wanted to play that game that they had. I've heard it's really good.
I watched like a little walkthrough of it and it looks amazing.
It looks like
the show.
Yeah, it's like so much fun and it has a good story to it.
The gameplay is actually like dope. Like it's like a adult Paper Mario.
Yeah.
It's like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Niggas be talking shit to you while they hitting you. Yeah, like shit's like hit you and like do 20 damage or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's just crazy. What about what was the first time you saw it live? Stand up live.
Stand up live was the Idiot Box last year in I believe it was January, February, March, April. It was in April.
Okay.
Damn.
Was it just open mic? Was it an actual show?
Yep, open mic.
Nice.
Yep.
Good first start.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions that night? What'd you think?
Well, it was my first time ever doing stand up.
Oh, it was the first time you went?
Yeah.
I was there.
All right. Let's take it back just a little bit.
I was there.
What took you? I guess you had been a fan of stand up up to that point. Mm-hmm. Like obviously you saw it a little bit as a
comedy,
kid, and then you started getting really into it. What took you from everyday guy? There's plenty of people out there that love stand up. Mm-hmm. From that guy and being like, you know what? Not only do I think I can do this, that I'm going to do it because that's a big jump. How many people do you meet whenever you tell them you do stand up? They're like, oh, I'm so funny. I've always wanted to try to do that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Plenty of people. I mean, they're all
lots of people.
Yeah, they're always like, oh, I've always. What took you from
that to that?
Yeah, that to that.
Separating from my wife.
Nice.
And it was an empowering moment for me because I was just like, I was a beaten man.
What happened first, the separation or the...
Separation.
Okay.
And it was something I always wanted to do because I was lucky enough in Asheboro we had Shenanigans show up. I was like, this is my chance. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm married. I can't go far anyway. It's like you have a chain on you. You know, like those guys from Mario, like they can fuck you up, but they got a chain. Like, that's the thing that can kill you the most, have a fucking chain on it. But anyway, but when I wouldn't go because she kept like, you're not funny, Dusty.
Yeah.
And she like straight up. And
That's
she was
crazy.
just mean, and
you say it like she snuck into your house. Like, I don't know how she got here.
I don't know.
Mean, and I just got to deal with it because how am I going to get rid of her?
I don't know how I got there. I just went over for like.
I don't see how you can be mean to Dusty.
Yeah, seriously.
And she was, and I would try to make
it.
her feel bad, you know, and she'd be like, huh.
Does it faze me? I'm all powerful.
You think logic matters to me?
Yeah.
Get me a Dr. Pepper, motherfucker. And seriously, like, I'd get her Dr. Pepper. Just the worst time of my life.
Did you cry?
Yeah, I cried.
I was going to ask that, man.
Her snoring over there. I'm just sitting there looking up at this guy like, why, God, did I do this? I mean, it was just so bad, man.
Yeah.
And finally, I just had enough, and I was like, I was getting shit together, and I was like, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And stand up was what I wanted to do. I was like, because, I don't know, I kept thinking, I'm like, you know, while I was married, I was like, you could be doing stand up. You may not be good, but you could still be doing it.
Trying it.
Instead of this bullshit that's going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel that's my fuel. Has been my fuel since then, because I couldn't quit after, you know, my first time being like, okay, I had a decent set, I tried it, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I never done it again. But I was like, I'm never going to stop coming.
Okay, all right, we're going to talk about the writing process, how it is now, but and something I wanted to talk about last week, or last time we did this, but I just forgot. What was that writing process for that first set? Because that first set was pretty huge to us. Yeah. Everybody, your first set, you're thinking about it.
Your first set's rough.
Oh, it's going to be terrible. The only time I've seen one person ever have a good first set, and that's
Are we talking about first sets or first times on stage?
First time on stage.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
No, okay, we talked about it a little bit last time, but I'm talking about the writing process for the jokes you were thinking you should do that night. Because I don't know anyone that was like, those first jokes I wrote were good.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Or that they stuck with. After a month, you're like, you're writing new stuff. You bit the bug or whatever.
No, that's...
what were you thinking going into it? Were you like, oh, I'll just wing it, I know I'm a funny dude? Or did you write out a bunch of stuff? Or
I wrote out stuff. Because I had checked ahead of time. Because of all the places, the one that I got like an answer from was the Idiot Box.
What were you asking?
And like how much, you know, what I got to do to get on.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, you know, you pay you money, you get 4 minutes. And I was like, 4 minutes. I was like, okay. So I went off with that, and I just had some things wrote down, and most of them were just movie ideas, things that I know very well, you know, kind of. And I bet it took me like a week to put together.
Yeah.
Very underthought compared.
Comparatively, like, you mean, like, whenever you look back, you're like, man, I just wrote down words that didn't, like, you know what I mean? I just wrote down stuff. There was no, like, yeah. Do you remember any of those, like, first jokes you were like,
oh, yeah.
You were, which one do you think was like, this is going to be the one that's going to kill tonight?
Oh.
Or did you ever have that much confidence?
I didn't have that much confidence, but the ones that I thought were the funniest that would work was Black Terminator, man. That was going to be the shit. I was like, this is going to get me somewhere. I'm going to say Black Terminator, be like, motherfucker, I've never seen a Black Terminator. And everybody think you're special, you know.
And say your wife didn't know what she was talking about. Everyone just rejoice and hug you.
Everyone's hugging you and crying.
Yeah, carry it on. Dusty. Someone call Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oversimplified. I totally oversimplified the idea of comedy, you know. I just thought it was going to be so easy. Like 2 times you're on TV, you call and be like, I'm rich and I don't miss you at all, and all that stuff. Boy, you're on Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen like that. You know, of course it didn't. My first time actually went decent, I thought. And to me, you know, being the first time I ever done it, I had nothing compared to.
Yeah.
So as long as I wasn't booed off stage, I guess I thought it was okay.
Okay, what was it like? What was like when you first got on there? What were you thinking? What was a?
Oh shit! I didn't know how it went. You know.
Yeah.
Like I went from the audience just up the stage.
Nice.
Right there.
I like that. When people do that, I'm like,
yeah.
Be a pioneer. I like that. Set your own path.
I just sitting right there. I was like, okay, and I just went with it. I wasn't looking at anybody. I was pacing. was
Yeah.
pacing everywhere. My eyes
Typical.
were down on the ground, and I just shaking my head a lot. I looked like a blind schizophrenic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was just
He is correct.
I was
Yeah, okay. You were there that night, and how long do you think you'd been doing comedy at that point?
I was like a year.
And
Year
then
and-
first
year and a
impression of Dusty.
I
on
thought this nigga was about to start shooting everybody. Bro.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Because at one point, bro, he just holds onto the microphone and just puts his head down and just growls loud because he just can't. You get blocked.
Yeah,
You know what
you
I'm
get
saying?
blocked. It's
He's
like
just
not going in.
I'm like, he's going to do it.
He's gonna snap.
I ain't never seen him before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm already black, so I'm scared naturally
Yeah.
in America.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought.
Because it's overwhelming. Once you get up there, first thing I remember thinking is like, I can't see a goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
In your head, you only see looking at them. Even when you're in the crowd, you're only looking at them. Then you get up there and you're like, all right, now everyone's looking at me, but you're in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking that they can't see you, but then you know they can see you for sure because you're lit up.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. You can see like the first couple
It's
people.
a weird feeling.
Remember the first thing they'd be like, God damn, it's so bright. It's so bright. And then like that's all you're thinking about. And then you're like, oh yeah, the jokes.
You learn little things about stand-up as you go along. Like, I didn't know how hot the lights were. Like, you don't feel it because
That too.
at
That
Mike's
too.
you're on stage like, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
When you're doing like I did shows past weekend, when you're doing like, 15s,
Yeah.
it's hot. You sweat,
Yeah.
and then you look crazy. So then you got to dress accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you learn different
Wear the right
little
deodorant.
nooks and crannies and stuff.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. What'd you think after you got out of that set?
I felt like kind of weird. I mean, because I was really drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Like I was drinking liquor, and I don't drink liquor. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
What made you do that? Just nerves? You wanted to be
I
like,
was
I need to
100
be loose.
Yeah, 100%. Like I didn't think it'd make me better. I was just like, this is gonna make the scared go away.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
fair,
And it usually
fair.
does. It's liquid courage. And
Yeah.
I feel powerful when I'm drunk. Not powerful, but I feel more courageous. Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
That stomach pain, it'll go away.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
My broken foot, it'll be fine.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
And I felt good, and I was just like, maybe I was thinking that'll be it, because in
Yeah.
my mind I was like, I'm just gonna go twice a month, once every other week, kind of thing. And comedy, I realized is a lot like heroin or meth. You know, like
Yeah.
you can't just do it every other weekend. If you really want to do it.
You got to commit to
You're
this
going to
shit.
do it at least once a week. At least once a week, because that would give. Yeah, that's sad, but that's at least once a week.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, don't talk about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, word.
Yeah.
So how old are you now?
I'm 27.
So you're 27. You started comedy when you were 26.
Yep.
So you had already gotten out of that younger adolescent phase, and not to say you're much older than us, but you were an adult, married, and tried to make the transition into like being in public speaking. Like,
Yep.
how soon did you tell other people in your life?
Other than people that were extremely close to me, like my mom and
Yeah.
2 other friends, I didn't tell anybody.
Okay. And why is that?
Because I was like, I thought then, I was like, I'm not ready for people to see me a
Yeah.
lot in that aspect. I did have friends come with me my first maybe 3 times, and that's just because I didn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a GPS, and I have really bad memory. So after I learned it, kind of like, I don't know, after I learned it, I started doing it by myself, and I felt like wow, courageous. You know,
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
big
even
boy.
more.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm doing this by myself. No
Yeah.
wife, no friends, no nothing. And
Did you tell her you were going to try to do it for real? Or does
No.
she know to this day, you think?
she knows to this day because one of my best friends, his wife, are still friends with her.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, she's going to tell her.
Yeah.
And she told me she did, so that's why I know. And I never talked to her after the day I left, except for once on the phone.
That's
it.
cold.
Hey, when you cry yourself to sleep thinking, and you a grown motherfucking person.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I feel that.
like
yeah,
not
it's
just
real
a man,
hurt.
but a person, I'm
Yeah.
not making it out like that, but it, no, if I'm going to give you everything and you don't want it, I'm going to give you nothing and you're going to have it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm going to get that tattooed on my face.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I like that.
Right across your forehead. No, it makes sense, man. I really respect that.
You meeting Dusty now when he's happy. I
Yeah.
remember Dusty when he was like going through it.
What was that Dusty like?
Oh, that Dusty was like, I don't know. Just didn't want to talk to him.
Like,
Honestly, cause like I was like, I ain't know how to. Like, you don't know how to approach somebody who's going through something because
True.
you don't know what they're going through, but you don't want to ask. Because
yeah, I mean, I've had girlfriends that I've had them tear me up and problems with girlfriends, but that's nothing like being married to somebody.
It's a lot like that in a way.
Okay,
but it lasts longer.
Yeah,
the feeling,
and it feels worse because it's so permanent. I mean, it's like it's legally permanent at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And I don't know, just the feelings of connection and then not connected because it ain't like I left her one day when I just got mad. Like I'd been just upset for a long time, and I just like you try to tell somebody like if they're doing you wrong, you think you're doing me wrong. If they keep doing it wrong, you go somewhere else. You know, and it built up, and that's why it was like that.
But you could like the thing is with Dusty, you can see his progress. You weren't there, but like Dusty, he just. I remember one day he wrote this joke about Gremlins.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
Then he was just after that he was just consistently funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gremlins was the big break for me where I was like, okay, I'm not, because you keep asking yourself, are you good enough?
All right, we'll talk about that a little bit. All right, you had that first set, wasted, you maybe thought at the time, maybe it went pretty well. Mm-hmm. Then, when do you think after that was the first set where you're like, I am terrible at this?
Oh, the second one.
The second one, okay. Well,
second one, because
did you do the same jokes or different jokes?
I did the same thing with a little different. And
why'd you do it different? Do you just to try to make it better?
Different, I think I may have added a little bit or something.
Yeah.
In that case, still, once again, like liquor drunk. And I was like, I realized very quickly that the last set didn't matter. You know what I mean? I thought that I guess it's just like basketball or any other game. Every game you have, if you lose, you feel like shit. You win, you feel like great. You know?
Yeah.
And so that one was over. I was like, I'm not good enough. And
as good as your last game.
Yeah, it's one of those. It was hard for me to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, man, those people didn't just not like me. They hate me.
Yeah.
Like, they are at home thinking, that son of a bitch wasted 4 minutes of my fucking Thursday.
Do you really feel like that? Like, do you feel like your last set doesn't matter at all? As far as, like, in comedy?
As far as how I feel.
I think, because what I said earlier is kind of like a sports reference, you're only as good as your last game. Mm-hmm. I don't think that of myself, because I have a little bit of an understanding how this thing goes. You know what I mean? But I like to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm like, man, things have been going great, I'm doing this. I can't even say I'm in that lifestyle where I'm like, man, I'm getting on shows everywhere. You mean that's not something that, that I've been able to do yet. You know what I mean? But at the same time, whenever I have a good set or I think things are going well, if I just recently had a bad set, it's like I never even think about the best parts. I really just focus on that and be like, how could that have been better? Because I'm getting to the point where I don't think any joke isn't funny. I think either the person or me personally hasn't said it in a way that's funny yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you really had an idea and you chuckled at it, there's something there. There's something about that. That's a human emotion that I think everyone can share, and they don't even have to have your same lifestyle to be put in that same situation.
Yeah.
So all you got to do, it's like if you want to tell your same jokes in a different language. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Our jokes would not work in Japanese. We just need to learn how to say them in Japanese.
Yeah.
And then the people might have a better chance of understanding it.
True.
Relate. If you make it relatable in any type of way.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and there's stuff that's unrelatable. There we go. Yeah, if you still have that comfortability, I don't know if that recorded. I kind of fucked that up. Maybe.
What was what? Like the whole thing? Or?
No, it was just recording right that second. I had stopped it.
Oh, okay. And the main thing is though, I don't know. It's an art to that. If you want to relate to somebody, you gotta bring the room up first.
Yeah, true.
It's like the precursor. Like that's why you gotta go. That's why everybody. Well, not everybody. I try to go on stage with that positive energy.
Yeah.
You know, because like same with Dusty. Dusty has positive jokes. You know what I'm saying? When you got jokes that just are good, you're like, yeah. Now you can like. Now you're perking, you're like receptive to new ideas.
And it's not that like darker humor or darker jokes or darker vibe doesn't work, but in general, if you're trying to make people laugh, happiness is the closer way to laugh.
Yeah.
You can laugh at something feeling like dark or being like, wow, I've never, you know what I mean? Almost like an astonishment. That'll create laughter, I feel like. But
dark jokes can get real divisive.
Yeah.
You know, they run the risk of getting divisive, but they're edgy and it might be sometimes, some would say funnier. But you run the risk of you run the risk of cutting the part of the crowd out.
Yeah, true.
Well, that it has sometimes I've seen darker jokes have a tendency to end low.
Yeah.
Instead of like, it'll have its,
Ups and downs.
Yeah, but a lot of times it'll end in the lower because it's brought to a level where it's like, okay, you push the limit of going too deep into where it's almost, now I feel bad.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
like
like
living for a dream right now.
Even right. It's just that they're just fucking each other with those dildos.
Yes.
Which is something that normally makes you happy, but in this situation, you know too much about them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you're just like, fuck, man. I don't want to see that happen because I like you and I like kind of what you're doing. But
kinda.
And like in those jokes, they're going up, they're going down, they're going up, they're going down. But it does normally end where someone at the end's like, Jesus, man, fuck, you're really talking about
some real stuff.
Some real stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And some people are like, we get it. It was bad.
And and that's a part of it. We're thinking this as an art form. If we're trying to get people to feel all types of emotions, I don't think that that's unnecessary.
No, it's very much necessary.
It's harder to do, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to do. I think it's hard to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's really true to you.
That relevancy, a lot of, people, I even sometimes find it hard to even talk about myself. About certain things.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine some of the things I've heard having to, the courage to say that.
Yeah, or even to go through.
That's why, I love dark comedy in that aspect. Because it takes guts to do it. It's harder to do. It's like watching somebody do just an unknown martial art.
Yeah.
Some people know it, but a lot of people tried it and didn't do it because they couldn't do it, and then they're able to pull it off. So that's always a good thing about that. But I don't know. I try to make a balance.
Yeah.
Suicide slushy.
Yeah, true. Yes. Yeah. There's shit that works.
Right. Yeah. I love that. But I could do that shit in like Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. And
So it's a show we got to do a show in Chapel Hill at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a late night show.
So I'm doing like Suicide Slushy,
darker stuff. You mean it? And also for the crowd, if it's a Sunday and 3 o'clock, don't be talking about killing yourself. You know what I mean? And you're at a clean mic, even though you're not cussing. It's like play to the crowd, kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Pancakes like.
And it's not that it's like, I don't know, I feel like some people are like, I'm going to tell whatever joke that I want, and that's going to be what it is, and be like, dude, we're all just dabbling. You having a utility belt. You need to pick up everything you can. There's no reason you need to just load up on one thing.
The job. That's a good analogy.
Thanks.
Like, at Mike's where it's just comics or, like, a crowd that's receptive, you can try new stuff.
Exactly.
But, like, at Mike's where everybody's struggling but people are there, try to make them laugh. If people are eating pancakes, make them giggle or something. Make something, like, not full on, but, like, make them feel good about you being on stage.
Yeah.
Don't choke them.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
just about choke them. Where they have to get a drink of water. Just to make sure.
They gotta say it to the wait, let me get a drink of water real quick.
Yeah.
About choked over here, boy. So funny.
Alright, so one thing that Dusty does that me and JD definitely don't do is improv. Which is dope. Have you ever had any experience in improv at all ever?
I auditioned with Phil one time.
Okay, I didn't even know you actually went to the audition. That's fine. We'll talk about that in a second. Have you had any improv experience before the Idiot Box?
No, never.
None. No, you never acted in high school or anything like that.
I've done church plays.
Okay, no, that's totally something.
Yeah, I knew what to say.
Yeah, exactly. it's not like it's not like you're getting an Academy Award, but you put yourself in. Not everybody can be like Some people be like, I would never be in a play ever because they know they're not that type of person. This is just keying in more to like what type of person you are.
I was in a movie when I was 4, and it was something for PBS.
Okay,
and that was the first time I ever had. I don't know. When I was a kid, I thought I want to be famous because I was 4 years old. It's like I want to get to chill with Full
famous
House
people.
and all that, and Urkel, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So I didn't. But other than that, never anything with the improv. And I don't know. Eric told me I should try it just to do it, and I was like, all right. And I honestly think I made the team because I'm there so much a lot of the times. But at the same time, I'm really glad. I'm 100% glad they did because it's helped me out just in general.
And that's how you got in it because Eric told you about it. Mm-hmm. And Eric is, one of Greensboro's best.
Yes.
Real fucking funny dude.
He's the what's the mob boss, the mafia Kingpin, there we go. Yeah. He's a kingpin of Greensboro comedy.
Yeah, the Don.
And Higgins is like that crazy berserker right hand assassin.
Yeah, like Wild Brother.
Yeah.
Like Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Like he'll be real nice to you and everything, but then he can just snap and like just
assassinate you in the
just
neck.
get your throat, man.
I've never seen that side of him.
No, yeah, we're.
No, he scares me sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like at certain open mics, if he's getting like heckled and people are not paying attention,
Okay,
he can get real.
I will say
he
one.
can get real stern.
I will say, yeah, one time at Linda's, I saw him look at the guy, and I guess the guy was just looking at him.
Yeah,
funny.
he was like,
and I think personally, the guy might have never really been to a comic show, and not that he wasn't into it, but he was just staring at him, but in a weird way. And then Ryan was just like, "Fucking cut it out." Basically, it was saying he didn't have time for it, and I reached for my phone as if I need to make a World Star video. Not that I thought anything was going to happen, but I wanted to be prepared, and I didn't think he was going to do it.
He just said, "Don't fucking look at me like that."
Yeah, he was straight up on stage like, "Don't fucking look at me like that."
His eyes changed.
Yeah,
like he has happy eyes. He's got like the "Don't fuck with me" eyes. Like
yeah, and it's not crazy eyes. It's like behind the eyes.
It's just deliberate. Like I'm gonna do this if you keep doing the thing I don't like. Eyes. I'm not playing.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, and that dude definitely kept sitting there and not knowing kind of what was going on, but definitely trying not to look at him weird.
He was definitely like he wasn't laughing.
He was like, "I need to change what I'm doing."
Still,
yeah,
I sit like this now.
Yeah.
What's that?
He just backed off.
I need to tie my shoelace.
Backed off. I'm about to get some water. Got to pee.
Twiddle my thumb.
And run it back.
But only improv experience I had. Well, in high school, I was like way into theater and band. That was like the two things I was into. And if I hadn't went to school for music, probably would have tried to come here for acting and theater. I don't know if I would have made it very far. But I do remember really liking it in like my high school acting class because we would do like every Friday we'd do just improv games, whole class. You know what I mean? And we just do different stuff. But what was your experience like in improv? Because that's like a form of comedy. A lot of people don't know. Most clubs they might have like an improv troupe that stays around there. How do you think it's influenced your stand up? How do you think it's influenced?
You think we should do it?
Your comedy in general.
Because this podcast is for open micers, but I'm absorbing like hella knowledge right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because if improv would like take it to that next level, then I'm like, why not?
That's why I decided.
I'm trying to get a Netflix special.
Yeah, and that's why I decided to do it. Bottom line, yeah, both of y'all should definitely do it. Not just because you should do it, because I think you guys can do it, and you'll be really good at it. You know what I mean? I think everybody should do it that's ever trying to do stand-up, because it's essential to be, if one day I want to do a 30-minute, 45, an hour, I've got to be able to talk to people. I've got to be able to work with whatever possibly happens at that certain moment.
Yeah.
That I can work and be off the top of my tongue, that my mind, like, surprises me.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And
the way I see it, it's like being quick and stuff. It's like, and like, kind of they talk about with this in music, like improvisation. That's like a big element, especially in like jazz music and stuff like that. And anytime that's been explained to me, or when people trying to get like an improvisation on something that I'm doing, it's like, and as I've gotten better at music, it's like I'm just removing the filter.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you first start and you don't know the instrument, you're just trying to like, but there's so many things getting in the way because you don't know. But as you know more, you learn more, you listen more. It just becomes, as soon as you think it's happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's coming out, and that's what it seems like that really polishes to me from an outsider's perspective.
In a lot of ways, it does. I try. The way it's affected my comedy, I'm more loose. I used to be by the book. I want to say this, I want to say this, and then I want to say this.
Yeah.
Just within so much that it fucked with my head. Like, I was starting to feel dumber.
Yeah. No,
because I would say the same set. Like, if I had open mic at the box Thursday, Wednesday, I would stay up till about 12 o'clock going over my set probably about like 10 to 20 times.
Yeah.
Like perfectly 4 minutes, trying to get the time right, trying to get everything down, my pauses, waiting for people to laugh, just trying to be very methodical about
because you care a lot about it, and that's a big thing too. Coming from like a musician background, like practicing is like huge, so that's like something I would do. I would practice just the one joke over and over again, how I was going to deliver it, maybe a way it was going to look. My roommate has a hockey stick, so I would use that to pretend it was a mic, and I would like face like towards this, like kind of, you know, that opening in my living room in that front room. I would kind of face that, you know, I would really run through it and stuff. The thing that I found the worst about that is like whenever I did that, once I got on stage, if something went off the track that I'd made for myself, if one thing happened, I had no idea what to do.
Everybody learns that lesson early.
You know what I mean?
You can't record if you rehearse your set, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You need to have punchlines. You need to have points. You need to have things that you want to get to.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like a script.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like scripted
It helps
comedy.
me to go through. I like saying out loud to myself at least before a show. So make sure do I already know every part of this joke? Let me just say it out loud to myself, go through it. And whenever I say it out loud, sometimes that's how I get more ideas because I'm trying to be conversational with. I do it like we talked about last time. I'm doing it in the shower a lot.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest time I like just say my jokes out loud.
Yeah.
That's a good.
That kind of sounds vain, but
No,
Can't help it.
I think that's pretty smart inside of the shower. You got the sounds of the water, everything going on. You got the physical feel of the water. You're having every distraction in the world put on you.
and I always feel like I give good thoughts in the shower.
Yeah, the main thing is I just talk to myself like I'm crushing because when you're crushing, that's when you're in the best energy and then you can tag on more shit. 'Cause a lot of times my tags are funny with the shit I originally said.
Yeah, true. That can
You
happen.
know? So I'm like, you gotta over spew content, over produce content so you can cut out the ain't funny shit. you
Yeah,
know?
the trim. Yeah. No, that makes sense. All right, now that we're talking about this, what do you feel like your writing process is? Like, what do you, or how's it changed? What did it turn into?
Before I used to really beat myself up about writing so much every week about certain new subjects. Like kind of pushing myself to a certain limit, but at the same time kind of creating blocks because I'm trying too hard.
Yeah.
So recently, a lot of my comedy is going off of experiences that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I try to put myself in weird experiences just because I'm like, hey, I get the goal of the experience and I get a story that I can maybe just tell somebody or I can put it on stage and maybe people will really like it. The time I went to the gay bar,
Yeah.
I didn't have to be there. I mean, but I didn't mind being there either. I had a good time. I had a great time, and it was a cool story.
Yeah, it was.
And none of that's
funny,
really,
too.
none of that's
Funny joke, yeah.
none of it's fabricated either. So
Yeah.
it's just
That's one thing too about comedy. It's like I was talking about before having that comedian eye. It's like I'm more willing, maybe is the wrong word, but more apt to do something out of the ordinary. Like go here, look at this, visit this, be around a big group of people that I've never met before, go experience this, just having new experiences. Because the internet, I kind of you know what I mean? It gives me an opportunity to see something that I'm going to make fun of. You know what I mean? Like something out of the same thing that I see every day.
It's because you go back and do things you've done before a million times. Like maybe go to the zoo.
Yeah.
I've been to the zoo a billion times, but
Yeah.
I haven't been in 10 years.
Yeah.
I can go to the zoo now, and it's a completely different experience now.
Yeah.
My conversations with people, it's like you say, it's the comedy eye, it's the third eye.
Yeah.
I think everybody has a third eye. I feel like that might be ours. You know? It's an important unlocking of being able to just look at life in a better.
In a lot of ways, I feel like I used to do that before I was ever really into comedy, but now I have something to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got a name for it.
Yeah, I got a name for it. I can recognize it, and now I can kind of exploit that fact. Yeah. It's like what I was telling you the other day. We were talking about musics and like different rhythms and why things sound certain ways, and I was like, man, everyone knows how to play music and really recognizes differences in music naturally. Yeah. Like when you hear music and you bob your head, like you can't, just as humans, we can't help but to be able to pick that up. But then knowing what certain things are called and being able to recognize specific parts and be able to duplicate it, that's all learning music is.
Yeah.
Being able to recognize something you already know.
When did you first find that spark though? Like when you knew you were gonna be funny? Like when you knew like, okay, this is the thing I do now.
In comedy or in
just in life.
In social?
Life.
Okay, I remember.
A lot of people aren't funny. They're just
there are funny people. I remember in elementary school, it was like I had plenty of friends like in that were my age, but they were mainly in my neighborhood, and they didn't go to the same elementary schools with me. So I had like a few friends in every class, but I never had like that pack of friends. You know what I mean? I felt like everyone clicked up, and I'd be like one person's friend, but they wouldn't really tell any of their other friends about it.
Yeah.
All the way through elementary school. And then something about 6th grade, it had happened, and I'd kind of realized, I don't know if I really realized this or it just happened. I was always really talking and like joking around with my friends, not joking even, just like talking a bunch at home and with my friends at home and never at school. And then in middle school, you start meeting so many different people because people leave their elementary schools and then you meet like people from other elementary schools. People started talking to me, and then being quiet for so long, I felt like I had looked at so many different things and seen different things that everybody wasn't noticing.
Yeah.
So it's like in the first couple conversations, I remember someone being like, "Hi, you're funny," and I was like, "That's the first time I've ever gotten my own personality trait." Someone said like a peer has said like your handsome or you're brave or you're a pussy. You know what I mean? It's like even at that point, I don't think I'd ever really even had felt aggression or gotten bullied from it. It was the first time someone was like, "Yeah, you're funny," and I felt like this recognition of them being like, "Cool, you're gonna be the funny guy. Like you're." And then I was like, "Dude, this is my way in. This is how I can get people to like me." It was like I recognized that like sports was a way to get a certain amount of people to like me, or being goth, I guess at the time was a way to get a certain amount of people to like me. But if I was funny, I get pockets of people from all that.
One of them.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Everybody.
It literally was like, dude, I found my end. I don't need to worry about because I was kind of chubby and I was into skateboarding when it wasn't cool. You know what I mean? And when it was like. No one did it or whatever, so I was like, man, I got my skate friends and blah blah blah.
Friends.
You know what I mean? Like that skateboard, they live across town, but we go to the same skateboard. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. I never had anybody at school I was chilling with, and I was like, man, I don't have anything going for me. I wasn't stressed out about it, but then as soon as like I made someone laugh, and I don't remember. I wish I could remember who it was, but they were like, yo, dude, you're funny. I was like, yeah, that is who I am. You know what I mean? It was the first thing I got to identify with. But then never really, and then kind of just rolled with it, I guess, forever. And then, I don't know, thought about stand-up in high school and, like, tried it once and it was a fail. I think we talked about it last time. We have to get into it, but I'm glad I got into it. I got into it in college and
once
stuff.
You find out you're funny, you're good, though. Like, once you realize you're funny and, like...
That's what I tell people. If you have an interest in comedy, like, okay, there'll be two people that I think that talk about wanting to do comedy that I feel, if I could compartmentalize. There's, like, the person that's like... Oh yeah, bro, I'm fucking funny as shit. And this is just the person that's like seen every Dane Cook special.
Yep.
And then in kind of they're gonna go up there and want to tell like a Helen Keller joke. You know what I mean? That's the kind of funny that they think they are. And then there's the other person that just like funnier in conversation. You know what I mean? And I just think either one of those, no matter how you go into it in the beginning, if you really have a thing that you think that you're funny, or if in a conversation you do make people laugh, then you can do this. All you got to do is try. Yeah. You got to get in front of people and you got to take real hard lessons. But then you'll kind of, it's just like learning the structure of a joke. I had no idea for the longest time. I think, I don't know. I feel like you got to be, I don't know. I don't say a good person, but you got to be a certain type of person to do comedy. Fair. Like something had to have happened to make you be like, I got to talk to large groups of people. Yeah, to make you want to feel important.
Yeah. Like, I mean, but the thing is, make you want to feel shitty for like 2 years.
Yeah.
At least,
or being just having something that's already put you through the boot. You know what feeling shitty is like.
Yeah,
like I can't say
comedy makes you feel shitty differently.
Yeah,
but it's just you like it,
and it's a way you can mold. It's like a mold shit. Like it's like if you could touch your own shit. You know what I mean?
It's like being beaten, but not all the way dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, you okay? And they're like,
we're headed to a hospital.
And you come back and you fight again. I don't know. It's like hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's tough. It's everything you said.
I think honestly, I think I was autistic for like.
Show.
No, I'm being so serious. I honestly like looking back on it. Like
you shook it. Though?
Listen. I promise you.
Yeah. I mean, 2020. From the retrospect, right?
From the first grade to the 8th grade, I believe I was autistic.
You believed it at the time.
No, I'm looking back. I'm thinking back in my. I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking because listen. I'm thinking back on my childhood. Yeah. I'm thinking back on my childhood. I really didn't have any friends, and all I did was hang out with my grandma. All I did was hang out with my grandma, bro. And all she would do is just like feed me pizza and like honey buns and cinnamon buns and like buy me video games. And I was just like always
good habits.
I would go to, but listen, I would just go to school. Not talk to anybody.
So you can get home.
Get like hundreds on everything. Get home and just eat terribly and play video games. And I just did that for I would get into something right now.
Yeah.
I did it for like a long ass time.
Yeah.
And then I remember like in the 7th grade, the other black guys were just really mean to me. And they just kept calling me faggot and all types of shit that I didn't know were things.
Yeah, I was about to say, how'd you feel about being called faggot?
I mean, it hurt, but then I was just like,
I don't really know what that really means.
I had my thinking was so grand back then. I'm like, your life is way worse than mine outside of this.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're gonna push me. I'm gonna go home and do everything you wish you could do.
Yeah.
And like that's how it was. And I was like, all right, yeah. And I was that's how I was thinking back then.
Yeah, that's cool.
And also I was fat as fuck with skinny arms and legs.
Nice.
So I'm not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just embarrassing myself.
Yeah.
You know, so I just did that for a long time, but then like I just started. I don't know. I watched a bunch of like I always watch like BET Comic View.
Yeah.
And then I just started like doing that shit in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Like just some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then people were less, because people hated me. Like I was a guy everybody knew to not like, because my granddad was the mayor of a town, and everybody's like, you spoiled faggot, bitch, blah blah blah.
I know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but people really just hated me.
Yeah.
Because nobody had money back then. If you had a little bit of money, people were like, oh, look at you.
Yeah.
With money.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to it made people stop hating me, and then a few people started liking me like my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
So like when I saw I had the power to like make people stop hating me and now like me a little bit.
Yeah.
Over the course of 4 years, I was like, I could take over the goddamn world.
About 16 years,
if
man, I can have
shit.
like 38 friends.
But I was always funny just in stuff, never thinking about being funny as a career path.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that too. I mean, that's only recently I've thought about that after actually doing it, and I can't say it's off the best ideals, being like, oh, I want to make a career of this because everything's been going great so far.
No, but like it can
great.
definitely. My thing is, I've definitely had sets where I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like I've had sets where like I'm like, I should never be doing this ever.
Yeah.
But then I have sets where I'm like, yeah, I could fucking do this if people like me this much.
Yeah.
In other places.
Yeah.
I could fucking do this.
Yeah. No, that's the biggest thing when you get that feeling if I can do this, and I think about comedy is like, for as good as you feel ever, you're gonna feel twice as bad. You could feel really good. Eventually, you're gonna feel twice as bad. But I mean, I've been having some good feelings. You know what I mean?
And this other thing is like, since I've been doing comedy, I see so many people who aren't funny getting paid.
Yes.
I'm like, I can definitely do this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like somebody's just cranking their jokes out with like a machine. Like it's just, I don't know, man. Just like little blips and blurbs of something.
Yeah.
It's giggle worthy, but nobody's like really just sitting down and hammering out the details.
Yeah.
Nobody's going back and reworking the old stuff like they should be. You know.
Not to do too bad of a callback, but another thing I'd wrote down. How do you balance regular life and comedy life?
Pretty much, which is a work of a day, usually from 8 to 5, and then for comedy on Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays is I just have enough time to get off work, take a shower, and then be up at the box.
Yeah.
And just like that. So it's like a full day.
Yeah.
And
4 nights a week. Because on
It's
Saturdays you do the improv.
yeah, can. It depends on if I'm that and that's alternating too.
Yeah.
So, but usually every other week, it's usually 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Up at the box. If I'm
That's
having
good.
a class, it's fine.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good, and it but it's I don't know. I'm looking forward to the step where I'm traveling around to different places.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't really have the means to do that right now, living as far away as I do. But when I move to Greensboro, which is going to fucking happen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, yeah, man. I'm gonna be able to travel places, dude.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Being so close, I love it here.
Yeah, exactly.
I do. That's what I like about Greensboro, man. It's just like everybody here.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody's hanging out.
And all the good shit's by here.
Well, yeah, that's a good segue into like, what do you think about the Greensboro scene as far as comedy?
We squadding up, man.
We are squadding up. How many other have you been to any other comedy clubs other than the Idiot Box?
Yeah, I've been to Good Nights.
Okay, so you've been to
Raleigh.
Good Night. Okay,
Been to Good Nights once. And I do the mic over at Cornor, but that's not really a comedy club.
Yeah, that's still like Greensboro
But there's
area.
3 right there.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I've been to another bar one time. I did a bar show one time.
Okay. Well, as your perception of being in the Greensboro comedy, mainly exclusively, what do you think about the scene? What do you after you started or whatever? How long did it take you to like? Because the first night you don't really. It's not that you don't want to talk to any other comics, but you don't know how to. It's not that you don't feel uninvited, but you kind of don't feel a part, like you're wearing the same team jacket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but what's your been experience just like interacting with everybody else? And
For me, at first, it was really hard to get to know people. I think John Eisenhart was the first person I ever talked to.
Nice.
And I was like,
He's a good dude.
and he's nice. Give me some tips here and there.
Yeah.
And then I started just hanging out with everybody at Natty Greens across the road after the mic.
Yeah.
And I would sit there at this big table, and I wouldn't say shit. I just keep my mouth shut because I'm learning who everybody is. And
Yeah,
I'm not being strategic, but I'm just being quiet because I'm like, I don't want to say something. They'd be like, go.
Yeah, and don't come back.
And don't come back.
Yeah.
Because that's happened before to a number of people.
No way. Is it that savage?
Bruh, Zach Levine has threatened to kill some unfunny people.
Damn.
And like meant it because he doesn't really care about life like that.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm
who
saying?
are we
But
to care
we've
about
seen
life
people
that
just
much?
like don't come back.
Yeah.
And now they're not here anymore.
That's awesome though.
You know, but
that's sick.
you can hang out for a long time.
Percentage wise, it's like 98 to 2.
But there's a certain time when you become like one of the comics, like when you've officially become like you're a real comic now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has that
What do you think
moment.
that takes?
I mean, it's different for everybody. Like my comic moment was after the not after, but like when I made the UCC that night after I did my set.
Yeah.
And Trenny sent me some long text messages about like, because I was doing comedy for like 1 year.
Yeah.
At that point, and I got to the finals.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You're a real comic now. You earned it. You deserve it." And I was like, "Appreciate that."
Yeah, that's
like,
sick, man.
Trendy was like,
He's the Don. He's the Don.
Yeah, like-
we talked about. He's the Godfather.
I'm not saying I don't look at Trendy as much now. I still kind of like look at things a little bit differently because I've got more experience.
Yeah.
But like my first year, Trendy was it. Like Trendy said something, I just did it. Like honestly, it was almost like I was in a cult. A little bit.
The Trendy cult.
But it was just I was the only nigga in the cult. I was just,
he didn't know he didn't know it was a cult.
Like he didn't know it was a cult, and like nobody else knew I was in it, and nobody was in it. It was just me and him. So he was like, "Yeah, man, you should try this mic." I'm like, "Yeah." I was there the next week.
Yeah, I mean that's almost like how we were, but we were squatting up with it the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest first things you even said is like whenever we talked like 1 or 2 times and hung out twice or something, and you're like, "Yeah, you want to get this mic and drop it on?" I was like, "Yes," and I went because I was like that's the first time I'd ever heard of it. You know what I mean? I only known of the Idiot Box, and I don't know, man. As soon as you like. I don't know, you can connect with people. The community is a good part of it too. Writing with other people is really good, and just I don't know, like doing stuff like this, having a good conversation. In general, too, I don't know. We're lucky. I feel like some people talk about other scenes as not as friendly.
I want to drop. Can we drop city names?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, Charlotte is in trouble then.
Yeah, is Charlotte gonna get mad at me?
Bro, every time I talk to somebody from Charlotte, I'm like, "What's going on in Charlotte? Like, how's this?" I always go positive, man. I'm like, "How's the scene in Charlotte?" And they're like, "Just don't."
Yeah.
Go. They said if you're not in the comedy zone, don't go.
Oh, Comedy Zone's the only place popping.
This is the only place like nice.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, God, it's like that.
And that's such a big city. That's a shame too.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a shame.
Potential's there. Everything.
Yeah. I personally haven't gotten down there yet. I'd love to.
I would go there if I was on the Comedy Zone show and it was like a packed out mixed crowd.
Yeah.
And I knew that. I'm not, cause then like Charlotte is the same as going to Durham. You gotta watch your ass like outside the club.
Nah,
Durham's
not that bad.
Okay.
For people?
You do shows in Durham all day then.
Oh, fuck Durham.
I do my shows in Chapel Hill. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I be doing comedy.
Where the sidewalks are clean.
Yeah, and the people are white.
And the white women are friendly.
Yeah. Not to us, but to others. I see them. I see them nice to other people.
But the thing is, all we gotta do is just focus and take over. UCC.
Yeah. All right. So let's plug the UCC. What is this UCC we're talking about?
Oh, UCC is the dopest
most
comedy
dope
competition in North Carolina. In my opinion.
No. On this goddamn planet.
All right, yeah, I'll go for the planet.
That's ever existed.
I was trying to be modest.
Yeah.
It's on the planet,
it's the
but
Olympics
it's the best one.
It's the best kept secret too.
Cause I don't know. Every other comedy competition is done in some big grand room. We huddle up in the box.
Yeah.
We pack in the box. We pack the box in. And there's something funny about laughing in a tunnel.
Yeah, it really is
it's like your conductor funny as shit.
Yeah.
And like he cracking jokes while you about to take this dope ass subway
and you can
ride.
totally hear a train. There's a train directly outside.
And then you can hear
the
a
door.
train.
Yeah.
Like we should market Idiot Box as the idiot train or something like that.
The idiot train.
We are like on a train a little bit.
I was with you all the way until this point where it's like, but yeah.
What is wrong with you?
All right, I love the Idiot Box, but can we also talk about the name? What do you guys? At one point, I was just saying
UCC.
All right, UCC. Okay, we'll get UCC. What's it stand for?
Micah the Tangent Hanner.
Yeah. What does the UCC stand for?
UCC Ultimate
Comic Challenge.
I'm glad he knew. Good God. I was like,
what were you about to say?
I'm like, man,
Ultimate comedian.
I was like, ultimate comedian competition.
That's it. Ultimate comic competition. It's not challenge.
It's not challenge?
Like, you get through, they give you a shirt like, way to go.
Yeah.
You did good.
Hey, listen,
little guy.
we may not know
The
what
Unbelievable Comic Conference.
That's it.
Yeah.
we may not know what
Comics
it
Collision.
the
Yeah.
acronym is, but it is the dopest.
Yeah.
It's like 4 rounds, first round,
There's
second
4
round.
rounds?
It's like first round, wild card round, like for people who got a second chance. That is the idiot box is so
Whoa.
crazy.
I know there's a second chance.
See, it's so crazy. If you
Whoa.
it's like a comics vote
There
for
should be
who
a
gets into
draft.
the wild card round.
It should be a draft.
And then
I don't
you
know
can
how
get
that would work.
You can get the first round wild card, then second round, third round. Wait, yeah, first round and
Combine round, you got all that shit. Just
then is it 5 rounds or 4?
combine round.
Is it 5 rounds or 4? I think it's
4.
I think it's 4. Yeah, I think
Depends
it's
how many people. This
yeah,
year
but
they're
the fourth
expecting more.
round, the fourth round's in the Carolina Theater, and that thing is there's nothing like performing in a theater. That made me. I was sure that night. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely doing comedy.
Yeah.
Because if I can get to this point,
Yeah.
I'm definitely doing comedy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because up until then, I had never done anything that big in my entire life. But I was like, once you get on that stage and you see all the people, and it's your turn,
Yeah.
woo, Dusty was, man.
Oh man, it was great. I snuck some peppermint schnapps in there, dude.
Oh,
And
yeah.
with it, I was like watching JD. I was like, man, because I went to watch it, but I went because I was like, JD, man,
JD.
all the way.
Appreciate
dude.
JD.
And he had the chillest set. I mean, you weren't afraid, man. You seemed like you had reached enlightenment. Like you were like,
Bruh, I was, and the thing is, I was a big crowd, but like I could hear my people laughing. Like the people who, like, hopefully over the course of me doing this 15, 20 years, I will cultivate like my audience.
Yeah.
And then those will be the people packing out theaters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I felt myself hitting my target audience, and that was amazing. I'll make everybody laugh, but I felt the energy.
Yeah,
From
okay.
like the whole right section was like just my people. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like,
And that can happen. That's
Every show
weird.
I do, I'm never the guy who gets everybody going. I'm never that guy. I'm the guy who gets you kind of going because I got one section going hard,
Yeah.
and they're just dying.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about me, but I'm trying to work on that too. But
Yeah, aren't we all?
you know, but that once you
still
do
trying
the
to figure out if I
UCC,
got
you
a
get to the
section.
finals, you'll know. You're like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah.
That's when you know or not, because you could do it and be like, yeah, I think I'm good. 4,000 people, I'm
That'd
good.
be crazy.
it was a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed. I went about every thing to watch everybody, just
yeah.
because it's all these people
See,
from all these places.
That's part of
Yeah.
the reason we asked Dusty to come do this tonight is because you just around, man. Like you so like the thing is if you're around a lot, you just know. Like you know who's doing what,
Yeah.
who people like, who people don't like,
Yeah.
what's being done, what's being tried. Like that's just he's getting so much knowledge just
And-
from being
And like we've been to some other cities and like seen some other clubs, but in general, we don't really have a good concept of what any other city's doing comedy wise.
Yeah.
But I feel like what we got going on in Greensboro is something that not many other cities are going down. Even in Raleigh, and it's not that people.
a friendly, positive comedy.
It's,
scene.
it's not that people aren't funny
Community.
in Raleigh or not even or in Chapel or anywhere else. It's just I feel as if other places are more stagnant. Like people are just doing comedy and that's it. But I just feel like in Greensboro we're really trying to link up, do things together, collaborate on things that we're interested in, and then I feel like we're the ones that go the most places. I mean, like if you live in Raleigh, like you can get up all week basically
Yeah.
in that town. I mean, and that's I don't know, not a curse and a blessing, but I don't think as many comedians that travel to other places like
Yeah.
hours away that those comedians that live there would
And
they don't really travel to Greensboro for the idiot box.
and
Yeah.
connect and talk and share ideas. Like it's so much it's so much more you can do with a different point of view.
Yeah.
Or somebody else to help you along the way, because if you're trying to do it by yourself, you're going to get in those moods where like, yeah, fuck comedy, I'm gonna quit
Yeah.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because you can never really quit, honestly.
Yeah.
If you've been doing it for a minute, you're gonna come back to it at some point.
Yeah. All right. Last question to wrap it up or wherever it naturally ends, I guess. What are you getting out of this now, and what do you want out of it in the future? Like what keeps you in it? Like what do you?
For comedy.
Yeah.
I want to get to a point where I'm able to do comedy as like a career
Yeah.
job, and in comedy altogether. I'd like to do it in stand up and sketch, film. I like film. I like
Yeah.
short bits and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just do that. Just leave my I want to when I leave. the world. I want to know that I made it a little funnier than when I got here. I know that sounds like
that makes
a clown's
sense.
dream.
Yeah, no, it actually, I didn't think of that, but that does
really,
sound like a clown dream.
really
like literally,
like, yeah.
But the thing
pros
is,
for
that's kind of cool. Like
clown movie.
Think about it. Even if we don't make it, even if all three of us died tomorrow, knock on wood.
Yeah. If this will really help me, sure, I'll knock on it.
And some kid like 60 years from now, like who's like we had like a wall of fame or something there for people who died in comedy, but like who's that guy? Oh, JD, he was funny. Like that's all I want. Like JD was a funny dude.
You don't know about him
back in the day.
You're fucking
You
up.
just see him.
You know, you go to the comedy zones, like all those pictures of comedians you don't know on the wall.
Yeah.
But they got enough recognition to get up on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Like
That's dope.
you did something that people don't do.
Yeah, that really is fucking dope.
You know?
And I like that, even though it does sound like the beginning of a clown movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just at least, I don't know, put humor out there.
I just want people to know who I am. You know what I mean? And that kind of that thing you were talking about all comedians have to go through something terrible. I can't say the fact that I didn't have a father in my life didn't make me want to prove to people that I'm worth something. You know what I mean? Feeling a little less, feeling like someone out there doesn't think I'm worth enough to keep around makes me want to make a lot of people think that. You know what I mean? And just, I don't know. Similar, like, going through something hard makes you want to feel important or liked in any way, you know.
And it helps you, like with Micah's situation. Your dad was not there from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
See, my dad was there. My dad was there until I was like 12, and then everything went to shit.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just real scared of relationships. I'm like, why would you link up with somebody that can be gone?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just...
And not for death reasons or anything.
Yeah, they don't fuck with you no more.
Yeah, exactly. That's
you know what I'm saying? That scared the fuck out of me that I could, like, love somebody and, like, you feel it all in your body.
Yeah.
And then they're just gone.
Yeah.
And now you gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
That scared the fuck out of me. And I've seen that all in my family.
Yeah.
So, like, and this not even... It's just something I realized. I can't joke about relationships. It's hard for me to talk about, like, loving somebody in a joke or, like, talk about... caring for somebody because I just been so detached for a long time. I just never felt that stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's hard trying to articulate it on stage because I never knew.
Yeah.
You know,
it's crazy what you learn about yourself through doing this. And it's just, in general, the magic about it that I guess I understand what you meant about when you're doing it on that big of a scale, you'll know or not whether you want to do it. The reason I felt so far where I'm like, man, I really think this is what I want to do because there's something about getting addicted to that. Man, I wrote this today, and people are laughing about it tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good or bad. You know what I mean? It's powerful. Because, like, every time I write a joke and people laugh about it, I'm like, that could have never have happened. I could have just sat at my house. No one could have ever have heard that. We could be having this conversation, and no one could ever hear it anyways. You mean? But it's still, like, I don't know, it gives it that extra meaning.
Will it exist?
Yeah, I mean, it's like real thing.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, it's about... How much energy do you think you have, and how much do you want to put out?
Yeah.
And what kind?
Yeah.
It's a power trip for me because it's like you make people do stuff with your mind. Like I thought this, and just thought to say it to you.
Yeah.
And I made 20 people laugh.
Yeah, and it's like I have an identity. I think about the clothes I want to wear. I have an image. Like people have an impression of me. You know what I mean? That isn't necessarily who I really am. You know what I mean? I try to get that as much on stage, but still, knowing me and talking to me as a person, I might not feel the exact same way as I say about something on stage or like just I don't know, them getting to know you without getting to know you. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing, especially when nowadays there's such a synthetic way to do that through like Facebook or Twitter. You know what I mean? They can get to know you in a synthetic way that's kind of for show.
You can tweet little funny stuff, but they don't know how you.
I've been stepping up my Twitter game recently. I've been trying to really put the tweets out there.
But Twitter's full of those little, I don't know, like little just jokey jokes, like little boom, like I don't know.
But it's just something. It's nice to get them out because it's like I feel like I'm getting so I'm getting my feed up.
See, my thing is I don't have enough followers on Twitter for me to even like really feel like it matters.
I don't even feel like it's for anybody else. It's just that I have this log of it, and like I know I do my notes, but now I have a public log of it where I think of. Someone at some point is going to go back and be looking through and be like, haha, just, you know what I mean? Because that's all I don't know. Because I enjoy some of the stuff on Twitter. When I see people tweets, I'm like, man, I'm going to favorite that, I'm going to retweet that, blah, blah, blah. Because I like what they said. I'm like, man, I can say that. And it's not that I get a lot of feedback, but like, seriously, like, I tweeted something today and like, 2 people favored it and like 1 or 2 people retweeted. And I was like, hell yeah, they fucked with what I said. You know what I mean? And when I'm in the business of people fuck with what I say, it's nice to get little recognitions. It makes me think, can I take that somewhere? You know what I mean? It makes me think, does this have something that might have legs in the future? You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I agree. Some of my bits I put on Facebook, and I need to start.
People say that helps.
I need to start the Twitter game. One thing about the Facebook thing is it's so easy to like something than to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Because you put it up there, you're like, yeah. But you got to think, you just said a joke in a room full of 1,400 and some people.
Yeah.
Or however many people are on your
It's
list.
good feedback.
And if you get, 40 likes, which to me is like a big deal.
Yeah.
If I got 40, I'm like, man, this is what
Because think about it, it's like 1,400 people in a giant bar. So that's 40 laughs out of that room. Like, that's pretty good.
I mean, in real life,
or like potential laughs. Maybe
Potential
it's not.
laughs.
Like you said, a like isn't the same thing as a laugh, but it's like they're like, I'm listening.
But the thing is, you gotta separate. Like Facebook, I learned it the hard way. Facebook is your family-friendly jokes.
Yeah.
Twitter's your darker jokes. Instagram, nobody, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, just picture video stuff.
Vine, now you're just a skit guy.
Dude, I got some cool vines. I feel like.
Yeah, you're gonna be the LA guy.
I don't be the LA guy, but
Mike is gonna lose 50 pounds.
dude, I just think they're fun.
He's gonna lose 50 pounds, get out of LA, and start making them vines, skateboarding, dance with white women.
I mean, if I eventually lose 50 pounds, start skateboarding and dancing with white women, I'm gonna be unhappy. If it also happens to be on Vine the whole time, I'm really not gonna be unhappy with it.
The future could be a lot darker.
Yeah,
You're like, God, look at me now.
Could be worse.
I'm living the dream, and I just feels like a nightmare.
I could be riding a scooter or something. Like a razor. Alright, this feels pretty good. I felt an hour and 16 minutes.
We gotta say something like thank you for listening, or appreciate it, or plug some stuff.
Alright,
We can plug some stuff.
Just because we thought of it on our own. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, just because we naturally were appreciative of you listening, which, like we talked about last time, this could fail and never be listened to again.
Trundy's gonna cuss us out at some point, and I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it, because we already done 2 episodes. I know we're gonna finish it. We're gonna get it out. Somebody's gonna tell Trundy about this part right here.
And
he's gonna go ballistic.
I don't know if we'll make it to this part.
Oh,
I was gonna say, but now that you're kind of making it sound like it's definitely gonna happen.
But
you made a wish and granted it.
Trundy's the kingpin, but he's also the angry old man.
Yeah.
And like when it's an open mic of just Trundy, no Higgins, people just get quiet. Because Trundy will just yell at you if your joke's not funny.
Yeah.
He's like, work harder.
Yeah.
Work.
I can't say that I don't need it though. Am I above it? No, I'm not
he'll
above
call you out. He's like, JD, what happened today?
Yeah,
like a football coach.
What was that? And then just roast you, and then just the grill's on. You can't do anything about it.
Your hairline's already bad. You can't write unfunny jokes too.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
No more puns.
Yeah.
No more puns, Dusty.
Get that shit out of here.
Oh, I got that on record.
Oh yeah, I bet you do.
Funny. I was like, if this was this way every time, this would be my best new bit to
Yeah.
date. Like
Yeah,
my career is right here.
That's
I just
funny.
need you behind the curtain to come out and just tell me how bad that was.
All right, we can plug stuff,
let's
but I don't know exactly when this is gonna. I'm gonna try to. Whatever. If I can say it's gonna be out in the next 3 weeks, no one knows when today is. Anyways, that'd be dumb.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Plug something in the future.
All right. Right now.
Not like next week.
Yeah. The UCC.
Yeah. Boom.
At
UCC,
the Idiot Box is happening in the fall.
Boom. Fall. Yes.
Well, dates we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're
also,
posted.
will definitely be on their Facebook. Like that.
That competition at the Idiot Box is my favorite one in the state by far.
It should be yours.
And it's in an alternative room. You're not in a typical comedy club, so it's a different feel. It'll challenge you. What else?
We'll be there, and we're not terrible to be around.
Yeah, Dusty, Micah, and myself will be in it.
You know it.
And we're not awful.
We are not. We are not awful.
I can say that with confidence. I'm not
That's
bad.
That's a good.
There
way
is
of
no
looking.
way that we are awful.
I'm not bad.
That's a good way of looking.
Someone might say that, but they're just being a dick.
I get lots of drunk
probably
white
not
people
true.
handshakes at the shows.
Yeah, exactly. That means something.
What else? You want to plug anything else in the state? Just in case.
I mean, what else is coming up?
DSI got a thing in the wintertime.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to release way before the winter. But yeah, now that we've talked
We
about
already
it.
said it.
Yeah, go to the
Well, I mean,
DSI.
seasonally, you got UCC in the fall, DSI in the wintertime, Wilmington in the springtime, and Raleigh in the summertime.
Yeah.
You know, as far as all the shows. Then you got the Asheville Comedy Festival, which I'll never get on, ever. Can I say on record that I know for a fact that as long as I'm in the state, I'm not going to win the competition? or getting a comedy festival.
Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I just want to go on record. Like JD, I already know I'm entering competitions.
Future JD that listens back to this for some type of recognition that it's true.
Yeah, I want everybody to know that I know I'm not winning anything that I enter. I'm just entering because I like doing comedy.
Yeah. Which is the appropriate attitude.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm not gonna win. I'm not white. You know?
But
if I was white, man,
it doesn't have something to do with it. It has everything to do with it.
I'm not gonna say anything right now, but being white has a lot to do.
But it's a double-edged sword because I feel in a way like sometimes where I'm open mics I like look at the audience I'm like, what does this one white and it was when we go to good nights when there's 40 fucking comics at the open mic. It's like, what does this one white dude look or say or sound any different than the last 16 that I saw? You know what I mean? That dominate the portion.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like we're thinking about the ones who rise to the top, like the Sam Bazzanis, the Mark Brady's. Like once you get to that point, it's definitely benefits. Because white crowds are never gonna fuck with me like black crowds are.
Yeah.
They're never gonna fuck with me like black crowds are.
I feel like sometimes people just don't know what to do with me. They want to like me, but they know that they feel bad about it.
Because
maybe I'm just not funny enough yet. I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, and I'm doing Tom Segura.
Yeah, plug that.
September
What's the
16th.
Date? September 16th.
It's a Wednesday show. Tom Segura, Raleigh, Good Nights. Probably gonna be 8:00. I'm not sure yet.
One night a month, one night a week.
Yeah, I do want to
say all those other. It's just one night only. That's what I was looking for. I said one night a month.
one night a month from now on.
Yeah, I'm doing that. And I want people to come out of that. That's gonna be a big deal for me.
Or the 12th of August.
I saw him on Netflix.
Yeah, that nigga's on Netflix. I was listening to his podcast earlier. The 12th of August, I will be at Good Nights on the Sinful Six show.
Nice.
Sinful Six.
Nice.
I will be there.
What date? What is it? What is the date?
August 12th. Yeah.
Okay, August 12th. I live day by day, boys.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Which is sad. I wish I had something to look forward to, like a day.
You got anything to plug, Dusty?
Anything to plug for the future? No, not really. I'm just trying to keep doing my shit. I got a birthday in 2 days, man. I'm just ready to get past 28.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been scared for a long time about the 27 club. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I mean, you got 2 days. Don't do
27
no.
club.
Oh, yeah.
All the famous people that have died at 27. I know I'm not famous. Never probably gonna be.
You're famous to us.
Yeah, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
And all of them, you know, Kurt Cobain, all them.
Yeah.
Janis Joplin.
Yeah, all that bullshit.
And Jimi Hendrix. In there, what are the other ones? Is that the only three? There's four, I think.
The guy from, I think he was from, Practice Santeria. Sublime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think he died then too, Bradley Knowles.
All right.
What's his name?
Let's leave on that positive note. R.I.P. to all 27-year-olds that died at 27.
Yeah.
Even if you're
all
not famous.
27-year-olds that died at 27?
Yeah, even if you're not famous, shouts out. If you have died in the past at any point.
So we got the power of the internet. You're going to shout all those people out.
Yeah, they're not going to hear it, but maybe someone knows someone that died at 27.
I'm going to shout somebody specific.
All right, go ahead.
Man, shout out Tom Segura. Shout out Ron Funches.
He's not 20. None of them are 27.
Oh, I'm just shouting them out because I want them to hear this one day.
Thing. Okay. Man, the concept that we think that they might hear that is just so cute. I feel like, you know what I mean? Because I believe you too. I want them to. But just trying to take a step back, I'm like, that's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Trendy's going. All right, positive note.
Yeah.
Real positive note.
Yeah.
Sorry I brought this shit down.
I almost ranted for a second.
Yeah, boom. Okay, that's it. Hey guys, you just listened to the Open Micers podcast. I'm Micah Hanna.
I'm JD Etheridge. And if you need to find us on any type of social media, it's the Open Micers on Facebook and at the Open Micers on Instagram and Twitter. And
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.